The fourth phase of voting in India's general election is underway, and Indian-administered Kashmir is one of the regions where people are casting their ballots. This is the first parliamentary election in the Muslim-majority area since Prime Minister Narendra Modi revoked its special status in 2019. And Modi's party, the BJP, has not fielded a candidate in the region. We'll speak to Christopher Snedden, who's a political scientist and author of the book Independent Kashmir, An Incomplete Aspiration. He's joining us from Australia. Welcome to Al Jazeera. We appreciate your time. Why is the BJP not fielding a candidate in Kashmir?
Well, the BJP is not fielding a candidate because they fear defeat. There are 3 seats in the Kashmir Valley. One straddles part of Jammu. And the BJP is very happy to say that they've created the peaceful environment to allow this election to take place. But on the other hand, as a result of those abrogations in 2019 that you mentioned, Doreen, there's a lot of local unpopularity there for the BJP, and it's the first time for about 30 years that they have not had a candidate there for a Lok Sabha election, and they think they're going to lose, and that it will be not just a loss but a drubbing.
So are we to understand then that the BJP has given up on Kashmir, or what is their sort of long-term strategy for the region?
Well, their long-term strategy is to win the hearts of the people, according to the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, who was in Jammu recently. He said, we're not going to field any candidates in the Kashmir Valley, but we aim to still win the hearts of the Kashmiris, and it's going to take a bit longer than that. So we're going to do that through allowing some elections, through giving them state status again, and through some development and things like that. And ultimately, the Kashmiris will come to see that we are really fond of them, and they will come around accordingly.
And if let's put this into context and talk about how significant Kashmir actually is as this election takes place. I mean, this is the first election in Kashmir after, as you were mentioning, the abolishment of Article 370.
It is. They haven't had a vote for now 6 years. They've been under direct rule from Delhi since June 2018. And during that time, we've had the abrogation of Article 370 and 35A, a lot of internal control, particularly after that abrogation, with even pro-Indian politicians being put under house arrest for up to 12 months, 18 months. And so it's significant because the Kashmir Valley really is the only Muslim majority area of India. And on the one hand, Mr. Modi says, yes, we want everybody to be part of India. But on the other hand, he's been saying some things that have been a little worrisome to Muslims. And the folk in the Kashmir Valley are keeping aware of that, but they are also severely disenchanted with the central government. Now, it's different in Jammu, the neighbouring district to the south of Kashmir, where they've already had elections for the 2 of the Lok Sabha seats, and the turnout was about 70%. So far, the turnout in the Kashmir Valley about 2 hours ago was about 15% of the 1.7 million electors who are entitled to vote. So we may actually have a much higher turnout this year, but compared with 2019, when the turnout in the Kashmir Valley was about 19%. So we'll probably have a higher turnout this time, but it will be people either showing that they want to vote, because the militants have said you can vote this year, no boycott, thank you very much, but also registering a protest against what New Delhi did. And that will dent slightly Mr. Modi's national agenda. On the other hand, though, what Mr. Modi did in terms of Kashmir was very popular throughout the rest of India. They didn't like it, a lot of Indians, that the Kashmiris and people in Jammu had special consideration in terms of government jobs and buying land and so on, and even some limited autonomy. So it's basically a win. It's just this small area in the Kashmir Valley where it's significant.
Okay, we thank you so much, Christopher Snedden. Thanks for joining us from Australia.
Thanks, Doreen.
Now, just a reminder that the Indian government has not granted visas to Al Jazeera's journalists, so we're covering the election from outside the country.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.